Mortgage stress on 130k. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and I want to have a look at this article from the SBS. I don't know if we should call it a mortgage sob story, but I probably should add a playlist. But this is a bit of an interesting one because there's, well, a takeaway here that I think we need to discuss in general. It's, well, changing expectations from previous generations. So this is from SBS Inside. I earn $130,000, but I'm struggling to pay my mortgage. It's destroyed life for me and my kids. After 10 straight interest rate rises, mortgage stress means Steve can barely afford to eat at times. He's angry, he can't have a social life, or give his children experiences he enjoyed as a child. Now, this is a single dad struggling to meet his mortgage repayments. But the interesting takeaway here is that he can't give his children, he's not having the social life, or he can't give his kids the life he enjoyed as a child. And think about that for a while, because he looks like he's about my age. And think about the life we had in the 80s, maybe 80s, 90s. As a kid, you know, you could often have just one parent working from home, another parent maintaining the household. Enough income coming in there, you could buy a house and easily maintain it off one income. That's all changed now. If you had two parents working, two earning an income, which we did after I think I was 8. My mother started up her own business as well. My father had a construction and drafting business. My mother had a mobile hair care business. And here's the funny thing, remembering, you know, when you see things as a child, my father was complaining about how little my mother was making. And because he was comparing it, I think she was pulling in 40, 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year in this little business driving around doing haircuts. In the 80s, it's not bad. And because he was comparing it to his construction company and to his drafting company, I think he was doing that on purpose. But, I mean, the same thing happened actually with Rachel's grandparents, you know. Father worked, grandmother worked as well. Didn't have to. He said, okay, fine, I'm providing for the whole family. Anything you earn goes into investments, goes into something extra. But nowadays, well, you kind of both have to work. You need a husband and wife, or both partners in a relationship, working to maintain a household and get ahead. As we're seeing here, even someone on 130 grand, it's going to be tough for them to provide everything that they had in the past. Everything's a lot more expensive now. And I wonder how many people are frustrated that they can't provide the lifestyle for their kids that they had themselves. Or maybe the 80s was just much better, and 80s kids are the best. Yeah, yep, that's what it is. Yep. Geriatric millennials for the win. So, Inside hosts a frank and honest discussion with those who are experiencing housing stress. Okay, we'll watch it on, well, yesterday. Okay, it already happened. I'm in my mid-50s. Okay, so he's a bit older than me then. He's a decade on me now. I have a secure job earning more than $130 per year, and I've owned my own home for 22 years. Oh, okay. What? 22 years? You should have paid a whole heap of it off. But I'm penniless. And 130 grand after tax. You know what? Let's bring up, it's well organized here, polished operation here. We'll just say that year, 130k, resident full time, submit. So you're paying 33 grand a year on tax, so you're probably walking away with, say, 95 grand, which, you know, isn't too bad. I mean, what's that over 12 months? We'll bring up calculator. You know, it's just such a polished operation. YouTube. That's the trick. You know, 7 grand. 7 grand would change. Okay. So, yeah, it depends where he lives. It depends where he lives, doesn't it? It depends where he lives. So let's bring this back up. I'm penniless. I don't have a gambling problem or any other addiction. Like many right now, I'm experiencing mortgage stress. But he had it for 22 years. Did he buy it 22 years ago? I don't get it. This is commonly defined as spending 30% of your salary on housing. I'm spending 50%. Up from 15% less than a year ago. Yeah, but what were you paying before then? I don't... Can someone explain to me how you can own a house for 22 years and be in this situation? 22 years ago, he bought during the golden ages, didn't he? I mean, I don't get it. Let's look at, this is SQM asking prices for all of the capital cities, and let's just reload this web page here. Okay, 22 years ago, what do we have? 2009. I mean, we don't even have that on the chart, but look at that. It's just... Okay. You explain this to me in the comments, guys. Maybe I just don't understand it. I'm 42 today, so I'm officially old. Sometimes I feel physically sick, paralyzed by my inability to participate in any social life or provide my children with the experiences I enjoyed as a child. Yeah, I mean, this could be pretty lonely for the poor guy. It feels like a sense of self-induced lockdown where everyone else gets to go outside. I bought my Melbourne home in 2001 for $500,000. Okay. My mortgage was approximately 240 grand and very comfortable at the time. Okay, oh shit. Here's why it's all gone to shit, guys. In 2019, I had to refinance due to divorce and took out a new mortgage of 750 grand. Just over the average Australian mortgage. At this time, half of my loan was fixed interest, with initial repayments of a manageable $1,500 per month. They are now $4,200 and far from manageable. So this is all because of the divorce. You don't know what happened, you don't know what caused it, but the divorce has just thrown everything up in the air financially. Everything that he's obviously worked together with his missus to build, did he have to buy her out? 750 grand at 50. Oh, they're now 4,200, far from manageable. I'm a single dad and shared custody of my 2 primary school-aged kids. Every time I buy them clothes or even switch on the lights, I'm forced to pause. If the spending or activity is discretionary, I can't afford it. No social coffees, no physio, no well, physio's bloody, what do they do? Move your muscles around and massage you. It's a money maker. Oh, I went to physio recently. First time ever, guys. See, this is how I'm feeling middle age, okay? I'm feeling it. No out-of-pocket medical or dental procedures, no long hot showers. In May 2022, when interest rates first started to rise, I tried to find extra income. I sold my bike, camper trailer, children's toys, clothes, and furniture. I soon reached the point of where there was little else to sell without seriously impacting my children's sense of self and well-being. It is for this reason, too, that I've decided not to rent out one of their bedrooms. It would bring in a few $100s per month, but it's their space of safety and comfort and feels like a bridge too far. This is the thing. He's trying to run a household. Now he's trying to run a household these days on one income. Because it's divorce. It sucks. It really does. It really does. I've tried to cut costs. I've changed gas and electricity providers. I've used friends' logins for streaming services. I've reduced private health insurance to the minimal cover. I'm no longer able to pay for my children's piano or swimming lessons. Actually, this is one thing I need to tell the viewers. Rachel has always had a fear about the kids drowning and swimming. And even when we didn't have much money coming in, or, it was really tight, I got to the point where I was making enough on YouTube where it's okay, swimming lessons are covered no matter what. So I have to say thank you. A viewer made a very generous donation the other night, Yogi, a regular viewer. Thank you. Because that literally helps pay for the kids' swimming lessons, which is really important. And the lessons they get at school, it's just not enough. And it's expensive. It's actually pretty expensive, these lessons that they get. We're lucky because there's a special deal they have. After the first 4 kids, all the ones after that are free, guys. So there you go. See, that's how you wrought the system. That's why the little 2 are going to it as well. But I mean, yeah. I mean, children's piano, one thing you can do is get an online Hoffman Academy. They have cheap lessons you can do for like a whole year. You can just watch the YouTubes and use that to get it. There are online swimming lesson courses, but I mean, surely the mother should be financially contributing as well. When my kids are with their mum, there are times when I barely eat. I've reduced my food bill from $220 to $140 per week. And when my kids are with their mum, there are times when I barely eat, knowing that every dollar I save on my food, I can spend on theirs when I see them next. I'm happy to make this sacrifice if it means I can keep my house. So here you go. He's going without food to keep his house. So this is when people are talking about it, interest rates are going to force people to sell. There'll be a huge crash. This is what people will go through to keep their house. And I mean, he's not a fat guy. Look at the photos. He's a skinny guy, but you're still under your skin everywhere. You got a lot of fat under your skin everywhere. A good buffer. Tens of thousands of calories there stored for those bleak winters. So he can do that. He'll be fine. Honestly, just fasting a few days a week is probably the healthiest thing you can do. Okay, it's not the healthiest thing you can do, but it's not the end of the world. I've serviced a home loan for 22 years and my credit history is blemish-free, but I'm unable to refinance or qualify for an interest-free credit card. Oh, probably because of the APRA calculations. One viewer actually was reaching out to me today, explaining how she was going to, throw extra little money to pay off a credit card, which is encouraging to hear. And one suggestion I gave her, and I'd share it with you all too, is once you're paying off the credit card, reduce your limits. Go into the bank app and say, knock it $500 down, knock it $100 down, whatever small increment you can do once you're just destroying that, because the goal is to get rid of it and throw it away. Even if you cut it up, just so you can't, you're feeling the victory. You're destroying that ability to borrow more money from them. But he's screwed. I've even had to borrow $14,000 from friends who know there's little chance of seeing the money in the near future. For Christmas, some gave me cash so I could buy ice creams for the kids. Mate, sell the house. So if it's giving you this much stress, sell the house or get a roomie in. Honestly, find a way to do it. He should move in the garage, get someone in. Steve says he's currently experiencing mortgage stress and doesn't allow himself social coffees, physio, out-of-pocket medical or dental procedures, or even long hot showers. Yeah, I mean, that's the sacrifices you got to make to keep a house. I cannot begin to express how humiliating my financial situation is for a highly qualified professional in their mid-50s who earns really good income. Yeah, but mate, you got divorced. That's the thing. That you had to start again. Took out a huge loan, 3-4 years ago. You shouldn't feel humiliated. Okay, this isn't like he pissed it away drinking or made some crazy decisions that gambled away his money. It just fell apart with his missus, which really sucks, honestly. Yeah, I've been watching too much MGTOW stuff this morning, so it's getting me angry. I feel confused and angry by the RBA's approach. Mate, it was always coming up. It was always increasing. I don't understand why my household with a mortgage are forced to do heavy lifting in reducing inflation for everyone. No, you're not doing the heavy lifting. You're collateral damage. That's what it is. You're collateral damage. I don't understand why the government can afford to give tax breaks for property investors and people with multi-million-dollar superannuation balances when it won't lift support payments for those most in need. It's also tough to know investment properties are sitting vacant because it's financially advantageous for their owners to let them on short-term basis rather than for long-term tenants. There's a burgeoning wealth gap between the haves and haves-not. There's not a burgeoning wealth gap. There's always a wealth gap. It's always existed. It's just, well, Australia's just maturing as a country now. All of these stupid rules, regulations, restrictions, limitations, and all these things that you put to make Australia better, like all of the environmental and legislative requirements on our construction sector, accessibility requirements on housing, that all drives up cost. All of this stuff drives up cost. So you got to take a step back and think about it. Okay, have these decisions and these government policies that I've supported ideologically, have they led to the shit situation that I might be in? That's the real kicker there. Those in mortgage stress are simply boosting bank profits. Yeah, he's in a shitty mood. I don't count myself among our country's most vulnerable, but I'm awake most nights feeling helpless and sick to the stomach. For many, the Australian dream has become a nightmare. Okay, so let's have a talk about this one, guys. So there we go. We've got someone on decent professional income, but due to divorce, they had to restart. 22 years he's had the house. They should have been fine. What can you say? He needs to sell the house. But the problem is that's going to cause even more disruption to his kids. And then he's going to have a nightmare finding another place to live or a place to rent, and then that can cause issues potentially with him having access to his kids. So this guy's between a rock and a hard place. He needs to find an additional income stream, another passive way to earn more income. Maybe freelancing, maybe doing some extra work. It depends on what his profession is. As an architect, if you're working for someone, you can often do some, drafting jobs or something on the side to earn additional money. I mean, that may just be what you have to do. Find a way. Do Ubering when you're not working, Get in the car, drive around. It's not fun. But it's not, well, I did it for a period. It's good cash flow. You go, drive around at nighttime, bring some money in, boom, that's cash. You get paid that day. There you go. Do that, mortgage paid, or pay a chunk of, there's your $300 extra for your food bill. Stop after the weekend. He needs to earn more money. That's what he needs to do if he wants to stay in that house. What do you reckon, guys? But I wouldn't be blaming the RBA because, this article would have just happened in 2024 then. He would have been in that situation anyway. The problem is that how we got into this mess, it kind of sucks. I don't like these. I don't like divorce. I don't like when families are broken apart. The only winners are the lawyers, really. It kind of sucks. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one, guys. Another mortgage sob story. We're going to hear more of them. But the only way to get out of it is to earn more money for this lad. As always, thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBim or Heise Does. And if you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, you can help us out on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.